excited to have both of you right now. This is my favorite time of year when we start the new breed of films. Sundance comes along, and we get to see just ideas, not people chasing money, which is the beauty. Sometimes it's just like we're chasing money, we're chasing dollars, we're chasing the sequel of the sequel of the sequel, but now we get to new fun ideas now. So, Andrew and Michael, thank you very much for joining me today. As a way, I want to start with that.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
having us.
So, Andrew, I guess first and foremost, what's it like kind of creating a short and then bringing it into a world like Sundance?
It's incredible feeling. You make a short, yeah, obviously not for money. It's actually a money losing enterprise. And Sundance is really, that's the high watermark. That's kind of the target you're aiming for. So to have them support the film and invite it to the festival, it's incredible.
And so you're part of Shorts Program 4. One of the best things about shorts is that you just kind of get to the heart of it from the beginning too. You're not trying to set up years in advance or different things like that. You're just telling the encapsulated story or the encapsulated emotion. So can you tell us a little bit about this story itself and what brought you into kind of wanting to shoot this encapsulated story?
Sure. So this story, it's about a Vietnamese American family who they attempt to cover up a drunk driving accident that the youngest son has gotten into on Christmas Eve. And once the police are involved, their emotional baggage starts to spill out, and their plan really starts to unravel. It's loosely based off an incident that happened to myself and my family, and I just wanted to take that experience, heighten it, and basically create an exercise in tension, and in 17 minutes see how far I could stretch that until it all explodes.
And you're Vietnamese, right?
Yeah, my mom.
See, that's good. You remember he still got it down. Anyone who watches the short will get that 100%. Michael, I think your character is just the stone wall that everyone breaks upon too. How did you kind of see your character's police officer coming into it?
With first time when the script was sent to me, it was one of those things where you eat it and it's like an incredible hors d'oeuvre. It's just, it was right from the first page all the way through. It was a quick read. All the characters were perfectly defined in a wonderful way that leave actors room, to create something. And I love the ambiguity of the police officer. I love his emotional background and everything. Andrew seemed to get all of that rolled into a very short period of time, and the emotional conflict, and it was a joy to work on. Bringing him kind of like it's funny seeing it when I saw it put together and stuff like that. Andrew sent me a copy of it. It's like the actor. It was like so much more room I had. It was like, oh, I could have done this, I could have done that. And it's very rare, I think, when I'm doing a project that I get that sense, usually that there's more. That's a tribute to the writing. I'm not kissing Andrew's ass. I mean, he knows, but you know what I mean? I'm serious. It's really wonderfully written, very dense, in its emotion and stuff like that, and its complexity. And it's like 16, 17 minutes. Amazing.
Yeah. Well, and one of the best things about this too is it feels like a stage play altogether as well. The way it's encapsulated, all the characters, the way they go too. So it's interesting too because I saw someone recently, another actor, talk about the fact that with a stage you can redo it again. You find those places to bend and move, but there's a finality with film where you do it, it's there. So do you ever kind of think about that as well? The finality of something like a stage where the next night I am going to do this versus I'm tacking this. I have the idea, but the idea is that moment.
Absolutely, stage is completely different than film. I mean, it's the difference between photography and painting. I think, film is like photography. You take a shot, bang, you got it. With painting, you go, oh, I can do this, that. That's what I'm saying. I looked at this piece and I went, oh, I could have done a little more there, and especially at that stuff at the table. The shame over what happened with his daughter and stuff like that, his granddaughters. It's just it's just a wonderful piece. I'm, I'm not blowing smoke up your ass here. I don't usually say this shit about films and stuff. And I really think this is a wonderful piece. It's wonderful, something to look at, something to really consider. And it really is a wonderful calling card for you, Andrew. I
Oh,
wish
thank
nothing
you.
but the best for you going forward.
Well, you're wonderful in it. I mean, you're like,
This is like a let's have a hug here. Yes, I'm greasing him down for further work. No, it's not like that. I work lots. It really is a wonderful piece. It's a wonderful showcase of what Andrew can do in a very dense, very short period of time. And it doesn't feel crammed. You know what I mean? I
Right.
don't feel like I'm being force fed anything. Right down to I talked to Andrew about it. I right down to the discomfort of the mother when she goes off in Vietnamese, when she goes off on her son and stuff like that. I my intake. I realized when I saw it, I got uncomfortable watching her do that and listening to her, and I expected either subtext or something. And I said to Andrew, maybe that should be shortened down. And he said, no, I like it the way it is. I want it to be that. I want it to be that, that kind of pacing and stuff, so that you feel that kind of outsideness. And I did. I felt like that maternal kind of wanting to know what she was saying, but knowing what she was saying and having empathy all at the same time. I just love this piece.
Andrew, when it comes down to it too, when you first started putting this together, each character is so defined, and then writing about them, giving them their lines, their text, their personality as well. How much did you want to kind of create each character and give them their own, but still kind of serve the story too? Because I feel everyone has, like, you gave enough flavor to show that there is so much more. There's a depth beyond, but it's definitely in the moment too.
yeah. So that's the balancing act with writing. And I think you are able to show so much about a character in seeing how they react and relate to other people. And families have such a lived-in, unique dynamic that to get that stuff right, to just have people speaking to each other in a completely unguarded way, really shows so much personality. So that was really key in getting right with all the family members, because yeah, the whole movie kind of lives and dies, by their relationships to one another.
Can I say
Um,
something? Also, there's a thing. I read a lot of scripts. I get sent like one or two a week sometimes, and you'll notice that most characters, in a really well written piece, characters have their own. Each character has their own rhythm, their own kind of pool of experiences to draw their dialogue from and stuff. And all of Andrew's characters have a very distinct, um, very personal rhythm to the way they talk, to where they're coming from emotionally and stuff like that. It's not, and that's such a gift to an actor, where I read scripts where everyone sounds the exact same. You know what I mean? Where the meter of their dialogue and the depth of their emotion is, this is such a distinctly well written, well designed character piece. It's well worth seeing.
yeah. Well, Michael, I want to ask you too. Looking at your IMDb, you got over 10 projects on the way and more to come. I'm sure. What makes you want to step onto a set or lean into these things now? Is it essentially you get a script and you get excited, and from there it's the imagination going forward, or is it just something where because you are, for some actors, I'm lending my time. I want to be part of this small idea that maybe not going to be like a huge, movie thing, or it could be the idea of something too. So how do you step into these ideas, and what makes you choose these things?
Oh, that's a lot of questions all in
Yeah,
one answer.
just answer one of them, or none of them, whatever you want.
Yeah, I don't want for much these days. Financially, I'm fine and stuff like that. And also, look at me. There's no guess. I've got more time behind me than I do in front of me. I don't want to waste my time with stuff anymore. I don't want to gamble, and I try and find projects that are still going to get me asked me to reach for something, asked me to stretch for something emotionally and stuff. The character in this one was emotionally a wonderful, complex, emotional, structure to him, and to bring that to life. So that's what I look for in characters now. It's like I'm looking for something that's going to demand that I grow. I just ended up playing a grandfather, an 80-something-year-old grandfather in this piece. And when I read it, I thought, I don't want to do this. And my wife read it, and she said, why don't you want to play this? And I said, the guy's weaponless. He hasn't got anything. He has no verbal, no physical, no way of defending himself. And she goes, exactly, that's why you should do it. And I went, whoa. And I read it again, and she was absolutely right. Of course, then they made the offer, and she says, "You're fucking doing it," But because of the money, no, that's what I'm looking for, and this piece did have that. It has uh, a character nuance and something that I haven't played before, and that's what I want. You see actors that sort of settle into a kind of niche. They sort of go, "Oh, I can do this," and I'm not putting down anyone, because this is a very at best a very marginal business.
Yeah.
At any one time, I think only 5% of us are working. uh, but I want to keep growing.
Yeah.
I want to keep stretching.
Well, and I enjoy when you stretch too. I mean, if I talk to someone about you, I could talk about, Top Gun, or, Troopers, or Highlander, or anything like that. But actually, I'm a nerd, so I enjoy your voice work. So I enjoyed the video games, the cartoon stuff as well, which are all different characters too. So I hope you feel that when you jump into those as well.
Look, I'm an actor. I like acting. I like acting. I like I like breathing life. A very wise person once told me, they said that the script's like a piece of stained glass. And I've used this quote many times. And my job is to bring light underneath. My job is to bring the light so that the color comes through. It's just try and be as real and pure as possible. Then the director chooses which way around the stained glass we're going to expose the windows, whether it's color by color, or we're going to step back and show the whole glass. And that's my job. And I enjoy doing that. I enjoy um, possibly being schizophrenic. I don't know.
Well, if you can make a living at it, I think that's the way to go.
Well,
Well, I
not
got
living. Look, you can also make a living, tarring roofs or fucking mixing cement. I'm not talking about this.
yeah.
There's something about what we do as storytellers that it just it has I don't know how to say that. It has a kind of a moral dignity to it that I really enjoy. I really do.
And I think nothing shows him more than by being part of something indie, something that is based upon an idea, an emotion, a soul. So I thank you for lending your voice to Andrew's vision. And Andrew, I thank you for creating this. I think everyone at Sundance is going to have a great time, whether the weather is -4 or not. I think people are still going to, I always like to say that the beauty of these kind of things is people are so excited for the idea of what you have to bring that they're going to stand out in the snow, in a line for this. So there's something to show that kind of love, and a little bit of a tribute to you to bear that, to sit in a area to watch your film. So
Yeah, it's really fun.
congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you, and thank you, Michael. Again, I encourage everyone to come see his performance. This guy's a true
Absolutely.
artist.
Come see the project. It's everyone in it is there's not a weak performance in it. There really isn't. Especially the mom, Elise. She's wonderful. She's kind of like she's kind of like the centerpole we all dance around in this piece. She's just solid. And John, played by Michael too, we call him Michael Manso. He plays their son. Very good performances. And the DP actually blew me away when I saw it, because his pacing when we were shooting it, and then when I saw it and stuff like that, the way Andrew and Singh, our DP, put it together, I'm just tickled pink about the whole damn thing.
Yeah, I trust me. When I saw the mother, the first thing I thought was she could be like an alternate life to Michelle Yeoh and Everything Everywhere. Like that could have been like another one of the lives out there, and this is another story in there. But it's so singularly itself as well, which is so great. So I
Yeah,
thank you.
you never questioned her once when I was working with her.
No,
You look at her and she's exactly what she gives you exactly something to play with. It's kind of like it's like playing tennis with a good player. You know what I mean? It's just the ball comes right back at you. You know, it's just amazing.
yeah. And at the end of it, which is 17 minutes, which so much stuff happens, but the end of it, the misdirect really threw me too, and I really enjoyed that. So I hope everyone else gets a chance to enjoy that too, because I saw her pick up an object and I kind of shuddered a little bit to see what was going to happen. So I don't want to give
Yeah,
anything away.
my wife saw it
Yeah,
and she says, "How long is that?" And I said, "It's 16 or 17." And she goes, "Wow, it feels longer." And that's I think speaks tons about what the project's about.
for sure.
Thank you,
Well,
guys.
well, thank you very much. I have to let both of you go, but we will make sure everyone gets a chance to hear about this, and actually, hopefully, we'll get everyone to watch it at Sundance who is there. And then beyond that, we hope that everyone on your worlds is happy and healthy, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you very much, Jared.
Be good, all.